Hi Homeworthy, I'm Matilda. Welcome to my home in Suffolk. Come in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Matilda and this is Spud, and I'm a full-time content creator, and welcome to our home in Suffolk. We've lived in this home for about 2.5 years now, and when we first bought it, it actually wasn't the home we fell in love with. We actually lost the home we thought we were going to live in and it was going to be our dream home, but this one came on the market and we jumped at the opportunity and we love it, and every day we just love it even more. So both me and my fiance, we have family that live around the area, so for us it was very important to be close to family and friends, and we have obviously Spud and he loves the sea and we're 20 minutes away from the sea, so for him it's perfect. For us, this house has a real magic feel because we're completely covered by trees. There's big, beautiful flowering trees front and back, so we feel very nestled considering we're in the middle of a town. So it's very special. It's got beautiful light coming in, so that was really the selling point for us. So welcome to our living room. So we love this room. It's such a bright room and I really feel like it's got a nice eclectic mix of my personality and my partner's personality. So I'll take you over first of all to this chess cube, which is down here. I actually made it with my dad. So we actually started a company during lockdown called Fair and Square. So we made loads of these cubes and you'll see them actually dotted around the house. They are coloured, like there's an orange one in here as well. But yeah, this one is my pride and enjoy because obviously I made it with my dad and it's a chessboard, so it's two in one. It's sentimental and it's fun. So yeah, this is, and it's really heavy as well, so it doesn't get moved very much, it just gets slid out and then we play it. So yeah, that's my chessboard. This is my favourite bookshelf in the whole house. Most of these books are all secondhand books I've picked up from car boot sales, antique fairs, and I always have wanted like a rainbow of bookshelves. So this is what we've got. So yeah, it starts from the pink, all my girly books, and then it goes up to the more manly books, which are my partner's. But yeah, it's like a nice eclectic mix. It's got some travel books in there. We've got some like really, really old books in there as well, which my mum would appreciate. So yeah, this is my favourite area of this shelf for sure. But like moving on down, this is a vintage carboy vase, and I picked this up from Facebook Marketplace for like £10. So it was an absolute bargain, and it does double up as a vase, so it's great. This is a game. We actually don't know how to play this game, but we just thought it looked really cool, and it's got all the bits in it as well. But yeah, I think it's a bit like Connect 4, but it's got like these amazing wooden balls. So yeah, this is a good talking point, even though we don't know what we're talking about with it. So we put that there. So on this shelf here, we've got a really old camera that was my partner's when he was at university. And then we've got this vintage IKEA horse here. And then we have some wooden dolls, which I've always grown up with these in my house, and they're actually so sweet and they come apart and they actually all fit into each other. So I'll give you a little demonstration. So yeah, they all just fit into each other and it's so sweet. So yeah, bit of fun for that. And on the top shelf is a skateboard, nothing to do with me at all, but it's my partner's, and the colours actually tie in really well with the shelf, so it stays up there. This is another cube, same as the chess cube. So this is obviously an orange one, and it's more of a coffee table cube. It also has two vintage IKEA Dala horses on them, and again, I did grow up with these in my house, but they're Swedish. And they're just hand-painted wooden horses, but I just treasure them so much. I just absolutely love them, and I just think they're very unique, and I will keep them forever. Moving on to our coffee table. So the chest was actually a Facebook Marketplace find. I think it was like £20. And then all the books are a mixture of designer books that I've picked up or been gifted over the years. Yeah, so I just like to have the pages open and flick them through, so it's just like a different scene on the table every day. I've got some very vintage dominoes here. They are a full set of dominoes, but I just love to have these out on the table, something fun to look at, and it's very durable as well. We have this book here, which is like a vintage Vivienne Westwood book, which I love, but Spud did actually chew the corners when he was a puppy, and I did get cross at him at the time, but I actually love that he chewed it because it makes it so much more special now. This sofa is my pride and joy. I love it. It's so fun. It's so squishy. We got it from IKEA. We bought it when we first got the house and we needed something big enough to fill the size. The covers, however, they are from a company called Bems, and I think they're a Swedish company, but they just make the most beautiful covers. And even all the cushion covers, they're made by them as well. They're just soft linen. It's beautiful. So this comfy sofa, we spend a lot of our evenings watching trash telly, but it's just a perfect space for us to come and hang out and enjoy our Friday evenings. So these two pieces of art, I actually got gifted them really early doors when I was doing social media. So for me, they hold a special place in my heart because this company saw me when I was tiny. So that always makes me feel good. But they're from Wall of Art, and the reason why I picked them, I just love their shapes. I just think they're really beautiful, and I love the colour, and I love how they kind of clash, but they work as well. So yeah, and the lovely walnut frames as well really brings out the colours of the pinks and the orange. So this shelf, again, full of books, full of secondhand books that we've found over the years. There's random ones like houseplant book, there's poetry books in here. It's just completely random, but the main objective was to have blues and greens. And then I've got a beautiful battery powered lamp here and another vase like the green one I showed you earlier, but it's just a bit smaller. But for me, it just works perfectly up there, holds the books up, and it's nice. It's got a nice shape to it as well, so I like that. This chandelier is from IKEA. It's a paper chandelier actually, but it's just the shape. I absolutely love the shape. We found it when we first bought the house. We did a big IKEA shop, as most people do. But yeah, it's just sat here and it's just like a big, I don't know what shape it's like a big, like onion, I guess, but it's beautiful and it just has the softest light as well when it's on, and it's a nice focal point. And I like that it's slightly lower, so it kind of brings the room down slightly. It's not all up in the air, it's nice and low, and it brings the light down, which is lovely. I was talking about the fact that this house is lovely and settled within the trees. I don't know if you can see the tree from here, but it's a beautiful flowering magnolia tree. So it has these beautiful white flowers that bud late summer, and it's evergreen as well. So every morning we get to look out and it's just a beautiful green flowering tree if we're lucky. So yeah, we just love it. It's just creates that really cozy vibe that we love. So for us, this room is a real sanctuary for us to come away from work, to sit on the sofa, and we have dinners here sometimes, we have movie nights, and for us as a family, it's just a lovely cozy area where we can just feel comfortable and feel at home. So we actually have recently done this fireplace up because when we first bought the house, we had an electric fireplace there. So for me, looking at the photos of the house on Rightmove, I saw the fireplace in the photos and I thought, oh no, we can't have that. So my dad, bless his heart, has helped us restore the chimney as to what it is. So he's opened it up completely and we've got some bricks exposed there, and we've kind of left it so in the future if we want to put a log burner in, we can. But at the moment we just want to use it as a space to have the flowers and to just open the space up and to bring some tradition back to the house. So I think my style is very eclectic. I love vintage and I love new, and I love secondhand shopping so much. So most Saturdays I'll be at a car boot sale, or I'm on Facebook Marketplace finding the next thing in the local area. So for me, having a house that has a mixture of new and old and things that both me and my partner love is really important. I also love colour. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, colour is really important to me. It makes me feel really happy, and I just think that people shouldn't be afraid of colour because it just brings so much joy. So this is where we do our hosting if we have family and friends around. So this table was probably one of my best vintage finds. So it's a vintage tulip table, so it's marble on the top, so it's incredibly heavy. It took a few men to help pick it up because it's just heavy and the base is just as heavy. But yeah, so it's a tulip table flower, which is really sociable. So you can have obviously 4 seats here, and you're not in a full circle. You've got a little edge, so you've got some more space for your glasses or for your extra serving dishes. So it's actually a very sociable sized table, which we love. So these vintage skis we actually bought before we even had the house. Funny enough, was at a car boot sale and I spotted them and I thought we have to have them. I have done quite a bit of skiing before, so I've seen them on Pinterest on walls and I thought this is a must, we have to have this. So we did it and we've adjusted them to the walls. We actually found a ski mount that is suitable for walls. And we do get that question quite a bit. So yeah, it's just a ski mount that they're placed on, but I love them and they're such a talking point as well. And they're great. And actually they work as well. So they're proper functioning skis. So if I ever need them, I can just lift them up and go. So that's my skis, which I love. Over here we have a little photo of myself and my fiance. We were in Copenhagen and we stumbled across a photo booth and we have just framed it in this green frame because it's a memory we want to remember. So yeah, that's our special little photo. So on the table we have got this beautiful terracotta jug. My dad actually bought it from me and he bought it for me years ago, like I was still living at home. It's probably at least 10 years old, but it's just such a beautiful colour. It holds all the tall flowers, which I love. So the lilies and the sunflowers and things like that, just makes them feel really tall and elevated. And the colour just makes everything pop as well, which I absolutely love. I am a sucker for a scalloped tray, and you will see a few dotted about as well, but I love this minty colour. I think this is really beautiful, and again, it works really well with this jug. This beautiful lamp is from Addison Ross, and it honestly goes everywhere with us. We'll have our dinners outside in the evening and we'll take it out with us then. It's just so handy, so lightweight, and it lasts forever. Moving over to this section here, we have this chest of drawers. We used to have a vintage record player here, but it was very low to the ground, didn't function as a record player, and we kind of needed somewhere we could put keys, purses, all things like that. So this was a Facebook Marketplace find. I think it was £50, so not too bad at all, and it's really good quality, really thick and sturdy. This drawing is a technical drawing, again, car boot sale. I think it was actually the same day I found the skis, so a very successful day. But I asked the person who was selling it, and it's a machine's technical drawing for like a machine arm, and it's got all of the like parts listed here, which is really fascinating, and all of the like measurements. So I thought we've got to get that up on the wall. So here it is in pride of place. Then I've got my beautiful striped lamp. I absolutely love a stripe. I just think they're just full of character, and it's blue and it's perfect and it's just the right size as well. We also have this shell here and it's got all of our keys in it, so it's just a nice place to keep everything safe, and also it looks really pretty, so can't go wrong. We have these amazing candles, which I don't know about you, but I've never seen any candles that are this kind of shape before, but they're from a small shop in London called Lamp London. And I just think they're beautiful. They're just such a statement piece, but they're not taking away from anything around them. So yeah, I love them. This record player is my partner's, but we do have it on most Friday nights when we've opened a bottle of wine. And at the moment we've got Scissor on there because we love her, and we just have it on, have the wine flowing, and it's just a beautiful sociable area that we enjoy spending our time. So I started content creation probably about 3 or 4 years ago. So it was just very low key, just something I did for fun, didn't really have any following. It was just something, it was my creative outlet, which I loved. And then I've done a few boring jobs. I've worked in insurance, I've done reception, and both of those jobs just weren't serving me in my creative outlet at all. So this year just gone, I decided to take a bit of a leap, and I've gone freelance in content creation, and it's kind of spiraled from that point because I was able to put so much more time into it and give it all the energy that I wanted. It's really taken off, and yeah, it's just been wonderful to be able to just express myself through my work, and I think that's I'm really grateful that I can do that in my job. So now we're into the kitchen, which is a space where obviously we spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time here personally because it is my coffee spot, and it's a very sacred part of my day, and it's very special, and I will take you to my coffee area. So here is my coffee station. It does look very girly. We have got another one of Addison Ross's pink lights for when I'm stumbling down in the morning when it's all dark trying to make my coffee. It is perfect. I also have this very lovely scalloped vase with a head of the lily that's just fallen off, so it's perfect for such events. I also have obviously my trusted coffee machine. This was a gift from my partner for Christmas, and it is probably one of the best gifts I've ever received, used all the time, and it looks pretty cool too. This mug is my Gustave mug, and I just love the chubbiness of it. I just think it's so fun, and also it's so aesthetically pleasing, so it's a win-win in my book. We also have our light blue Smeg kettle here, which is so cool. I mean, you don't need to say much about it. It's just so cool. And I love that it's not pink, because I do tend to go towards pink things more, but I think baby blue can't go wrong. So we've got a tray here which has all the essentials that we need when we're cooking. So obviously it's got a salt and pepper grinder, which is very important. We also have a fabulous jar of honey here, which is just the most delicious thing in the world. So nice. Also very useful. We have a ceramic butter dish for all of the lovely fresh butter that we get. We have some chili, some oil, and a pestle and a mortar. So that's that. And I'll take you over here to this cupboard, because this cupboard is a bit of a secret, because it hides all of my goodies, which I absolutely love. So, because I am a bit of a collector of vintage things, for me, I needed somewhere where I could put them all safely so they can be seen, and I know that they're safe. They're not shoved in a cupboard. They're on display, but they're nice and safe. So we've got everything from table linens, cake stand, we've got a basket of napkins here for when we host, which is so nice to have them such easy access. We have glasses that are vintage, new. We've got some tiny little vintage espresso cups, which are so fun. We've got bowls, cafetières, we've got placemats, and then right at the bottom we've got jars and candles, which are lovely. And then on the top here we've got a massive basket which we use for when we do picnics in summer. So we often go down to the beach and we'll take food, towels, all the things we need in here. So it's very useful and it looks cool as well. So for us, a kitchen normally is quite cold and it's not very inviting. So adding lamps into a kitchen for me is really important, especially at night time. It just has a softer light, because we do have big overhead lights, but sometimes it's not what you want. You just want a nice cozy lamp while you're having your wine. Just a nice soft touch. It's also a nice warm white as well, which I think is very important. We do have a floor lamp as well. Again, it's got a warm white light bulb just to add the down lighting to it. So in the evenings, it's not all bright, it's nice and cozy and nice and calm in here. So when we first viewed this house, this bar table was actually already here, but I was really adamant that I didn't like it, and I thought, we're not going to use it. I thought it was a bit too sticky out. I'd rather it be that way round. But since living here, it's just become an absolute staple part of this kitchen. We use it all the time, especially if we're doing like a big meal. People can be sitting here while we're cooking, and it's a really sociable area. We have these fabulous chairs. Again, they are second hand. They were £10 each, so £40 in total. They are like a cane back, so they're super comfortable. They've got a lot of movement in them. So yeah, this is an area that we use a lot. We also have drinks on here if we're hosting at Christmas. This will be like the bar area. So yeah, it's multifunctional. If I have 3 styling tips to make a house cozy, it would be curtains. I think curtains are really impactful. They're super soft and they really like frame the window nicely. I think lamps. Lamps are my go-to. It's just instant warmth, instant coziness. And then I think probably mixing some fabrics, so having obviously some stripes or some like lovely linens. I think bringing that texture into a room can really soften it and make it really cozy. I always think if you love something and you put it in your house, it will always work because you love it, and I think that's really important. So now we're going to go outside into our courtyard area. This area is like an extension of the kitchen come summer, and it's just the most secluded area. We don't really get that much wind down here, and the sun beams down here all the time. So I'll often come out here with my morning coffee just for half an hour of absolute tranquility, which is really important to start my day. We do have an eclectic mix of flowers out here, like potted plants. Because it is quite shady, as you can see up here, we have gone for pots just so we can water them, make sure that they're all right. But we've got a mixture of hydrangeas. We've got this beautiful olive tree, which is a couple of years old now. We've actually put it in a wicker, don't know if you can see, we've put it in a wicker basket, and that was a second-hand find as well. But since we've done that, it's actually just flourished. So that's really special, and we hope it just keeps them growing. We've got some lavender up here. We've got some mixed flowers here on this ladder, which is an old fireman's ladder. Again, we bought it secondhand. We also have these terracotta vases, and they are a king and a queen, and they're actually planters, so you can actually put plants inside them. I haven't done that with them this year, only because I got them towards the end of summer, but next summer they will have flowers growing out of their head, which I think is a really fun little touch. Moving over here, this hydrangea bush sadly has come to the end of its life for summer, but we've still got some greenery on it, which is lovely. This giant terracotta pot we found on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a steal, and I actually bought it from the loveliest couple, and they helped me carry it in the car because it's so impossibly heavy. But it's really been great for this hydrangea because it's just been able to grow, and it's been so healthy. And it was pink, but now it's obviously faded. But yeah, so this is our beautiful hydrangea bush. So we've got here our like outside lounge area. So we've got these 2 beautiful sofas, and they're from made.com, and they're just the squidgiest sofas, and for us it's just a lovely extension to have from the kitchen, somewhere we can sit with friends, have dinners out here, have coffees. It's just such a welcoming, warm space outside with our friends. We also just love this ability to have an inside-outside way of life, and for Spud it's great because he can have a sleep in the shade while I'm getting a tan, so it's perfect for us, and it just lets the sun in and the air come in, and we can just go in and out freely, and it's just a lovely part of the house. So welcome to our main bedroom, so I'd like you to come in. This is a super calming space for us, and it has evolved over the years we've been here, but we did make a bold decision to completely colour wash the whole room. So the ceiling and the walls, everything is the same colour, which is scary to do, but I think it had a really good impact on the vibe of the room. It's very calming, very chilled. So the colour is from Lick, and it's called Soho Farmhouse in beige, and it's just the beautifulest, richest colour. So in this room we have a really 50-50 mixture of old versus new. So I'm going to take you to this little area now, which has one of my favourite pieces in the house, which is this gorgeous green vintage trunk. So this trunk, we actually use it to store our jumpers because we are big jumper wearers, and it is autumn here soon, so this will be in full force. But this area, we just needed something to fill it but not take over from the gap, because it's a very unique style and a very unique shape, because there would have been a chimney here at one point, so we had to work with what we've got. But yeah, so this trunk we love. And it's one of those pieces that we will just move it through our lives with us. So if it will be a coffee table one day, it may be a child's dress-up box. So for us, it's a piece that just keeps evolving with us, which is really special. We have this painting here, which has a beautiful bright pop of a red frame and clashing with the green, which is really vibrant, and it just brings your eyes to this corner, which is, it kind of is a bit dark over here, so it kind of needed something to like bring your attention in. So I think the red does that quite nicely. So this mirror is a vintage mirror that we found at market. It is, we think it's probably about like 1920s, not 100% sure, but the shape at the top is just very unique, and I've actually never seen a mirror like it. So it's a very sweet piece for the bedroom, and it just lifts the room as well, because of the paint colour, the room can be a little bit dark. So to have the light reflecting off the mirror is really important. You can see the age of the mirror. There's little black spots everywhere, but we love that, so we're not fussy. So moving over to our chest of drawers area, we do share this chest of drawers, so it's just, you know, a little shared space where we come get our pyjamas at night. So yeah, on the top we just have an eclectic display of things that we use in the bedroom. So we've got a beautiful lamp here, which just gives, again, a really soft, warm feeling to the room. We've got this very funny, unique mirror, which I bought secondhand. It looks like a scuba head, but I think it's from the 70s, but it's pretty awesome. So we have that there. We also have a couple of vintage vases here, which are actually a pair, but we've just used them separately. But they just are lovely colours and lovely shapes, which adds emphasis to this room and gives it a bit more depth. We have a vintage pink Roberts radio in the back, which does work, and sometimes we'll turn it on just to see what's going on in the world. And then like a little mixture of my perfumes, and then we have a shell here, which I just put my jewellery in at night. So it's just somewhere nice to keep it nice and safe, and I can just pop it back on in the morning. So moving on to this beautiful window, it is just the most beautiful window. When we bought the house, we didn't actually realise how big the windows are, and they're very low to the ground and very high, which is great because it lets in so much light, and it's just the most beautiful morning light in here. It's very dappled because of the lovely tree, which you can see outside. These curtains, my mum bought them for me years and years and years ago when I was at university, and I put them up in my uni room, and then I've just kept them ever since. I do get a lot of questions on them, and they're so old that they don't exist anymore. I'm sure someone else has got a pair, but they're unique, which makes me feel so happy. So yeah, like I said, downstairs you can see the tree which is outside, which flowers right at the window sometimes, which is super, super special. And Spud will more often than not lay down here and put his head out the window because it is a perfect Spud height window. So this beautiful lampshade was one of my first collaborations I ever did, and I was lucky enough to be able to select it from made.com, but it's just the most beautiful shape. It reminds me of like a summer straw hat, so it's super beautiful, and it's a real focal point in this room. It gives that soft feeling as well with the texture of the cane on it. So beautiful focal point. And again, like downstairs, it's quite a low light, so it just gives that soft, low feeling, which is really beautiful, especially for a bedroom. You need that low light, I think. So moving on to our bedside tables, we actually went a really long time with not having drawers for our bedside table, but we found we just had piles and piles of books and cups and stuff on our bedside table. So we bought these ones with drawers to be able to shove everything away. We also have these beautiful glass lamps, so glass base and a beautiful beigey lampshade. Again, they're quite big for the space, but for me, it just creates that cozy, warming feeling, which for the bedroom is very important. Also, when you wake up in the morning, you're not turning on a really bright light, it's a nice soft light. I feel like they frame the bed really nicely. They just are two cozy points of the room that kind of light the darkest of areas as well, so that's really lovely. So we have quite an eclectic mix of bedding. I have a whole cupboard full of different linens. This set, however, is a mixture of lovely gingham fabric, so it's got beautiful fresh linen gingham fabric, and also this bedspread, which is wool and it's gingham as well. I am a bit of a gingham girl. but we like to incorporate the ruffles into the bedroom because I just think they're so sweet, and I think if you can't have ruffles in your bedroom, then you can't have them anywhere, because I just think they're just so dainty and it just looks very feminine as well, which I absolutely love. But our bedding does change all the time, and I think you can really change the whole look of a room by the bed linen that you have. I think it's really important to have bedding that like complements the room and complements each other, so you can have lots of different sets of like pillowcases to throws. But if you have something that comes together, it's like a nice harmony for your bedroom, which is a really special room. And you probably don't spend that much time awake in here, but I think it's still a very important room to have that looks thought out and cozy. So these two pieces of art above the bed, they are from a lovely print artist, and I loved the colours. I was instantly drawn to the colours of them. I really love the primary colours mixed in with this kind of fluorescent pink, but they actually go together so well. I'm not sure if she did that on purpose. I feel like she probably did, but they're just characters of, I don't know, they're just dancing, happy guys, and we just love them. We think they've just got so much personality and just brings a bit of realness back into the bedroom. It's just a bit of fun. We also have on the back of the door, we have two robes, which if you've seen my account, I'm a pajama girl. So a robe is like my staple. It's my staple uniform for this house. So yeah, my trusty robes are hanging up here, never too far away from me. The thing I love most about our home is probably the coziness. I think for me, when I step in the door, I just feel absolutely so safe. It's my safe haven. I just feel warm and like snuggled up. I also love that it's a home filled of things that we've found, like treasures over the years, from holidays, from car boots to family furniture, it's in this house, and that means so much to us. It's just home, and for us that's really important. Okay, we're going to go to the second bedroom now, so follow me. So now we're in the second bedroom, which we don't use obviously every day. It's a guest bedroom. We also keep our clothes in this gorgeous wardrobe, which I will talk about behind me. But it's a room where if we have family come to stay, this is where they are. And it's got a beautiful double bed, and it's a room filled with character, and it's a lot of vintage going on here. So I will happily talk you through that now. So this wardrobe, again, like the other room, it's a bit of a funny size room, and this room has a massive slope to it as well. So we had to incorporate that when we was designing the room. So this area, naturally, I think you would think it would be a built-in wardrobe, but we did some pricing up and it was just ridiculously expensive, and it kind of wasn't what we wanted for this room anyway. So we went on eBay and we actually found a seller who goes to France directly to buy and source furniture. So if we wanted something in particular, he would find that for us and give it to us. But he had this up already. So we found it, we did the measurements, and it's actually the most perfect fit. Like, it's a little bit of room this side, a little bit of room that side, but it works a treat. So we house our clothes in here, some spare shoes. It's just a beautiful area, which again we will carry through our lives. It will come with us to the next house when we do move. It also has these very adorable keys that have come with it that are authentic. So I think you just can't buy that these days. So a very special touch, which we absolutely love. Moving over to the bed area, so we've got a wicker bedside table here, which has a little carafe on it for all our guests if they need it. We have some hand cream, a beautiful IKEA lamp, and a mixture of some books, and this absolutely tiny candle, which is super sweet and smells delicious. So they've got that as a little treat. We also have these 3 prints here, which are by the same artist as the one in our bedroom. So these are obviously ladies, they are cowgirl, and just a mixture of ladies doing different things, having some wine, which resonates with me. But yeah, they're just beautiful colours, and we kind of wanted this to be a focal point of the room. We like that the colours clash with the blue. Talking of the blue, again, we decided to completely colour wash this room. Because it's at the back of the house, it doesn't get quite as much light. So we wanted a colour that was warm but bright and light at the same time, and this blue has had that effect on this room. It gives it that light that it needs. Moving over to this bed, again, this is a vintage bed. I bought this on eBay and it was a London pickup, so we had to drive to London, which is about an hour from here, to collect it. And when I did, I always tried to ask what the history is behind the pieces, because I think it's really important to know. And it actually was a bed for a prop in a theatre company, which I think is really sweet. So it's got a bit of history, it's got some stories to tell for sure. We also have a mixture of cushions here. I really like to mix the patterns and the textures. So we've got some velvets here, we've got some cottons, and I just think it's really lovely to have a nice mixture going on in the bedroom. We also have this wonderful bed throw here, which is a quilted bed throw. It is so lovely in winter, and more often than not we will pinch this from this room to put it in our room because it's so thick, and it's just got the loveliest pattern as well. It's got a lovely brown and white checkered, and then with the green stars as well, which is just a lovely touch for the room. So this mirror is super heavy. When we had to try to lift it up the stairs, it was a job to get it up. I feel like it kind of lends itself to the bed and to the wardrobe nicely. It's kind of that style which we love. Over here we have a vintage IKEA lamp, which I found from a charity shop in my hometown when I was quite young, I think it was. It was only a tenner, and I feel like it's going to be worth quite a bit of money, so I'm keeping this one safe. And then here we have a cube, so same as what I was talking about downstairs, the cubes that I made with my lovely dad. It is orange, and I just think it's just the most funkiest piece for this room, and it holds the lamp perfectly. What makes a house a home, in my opinion, is the people inside it, of course, but all the things that are really special to you that make your house unique to you. So I love that I have things from my childhood here, from my partner's childhood, and it's just an ever-changing home, and it's an ever-evolving home. And for me, that's really important, that it moves with us, but it's home, and it's full of our love and the things we love.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.